Hello, hello, Stephanie Zima here, my way of life coaching, and I'm coming to you today with the Walk It Free Mentorship, where we heal, connect, and level up. Okay, so telling you the real reason why you don't post on social media. And this is for anyone who has an online business, whether or not it is network marketing or it is social selling of any kind, or if it's like, even if you're an artist and you're trying to you like to create stuff and you are wanting to sell it online, you do need to market it somehow, right? You need to show what you've got going on. So social media becomes your storefront. Even if you're a realtor, like an insurance agent, anyone that has anything to sell really needs to have an online social media presence. But the reason why you are not posting on it is because you don't want people to know anything about you, really. Okay. And it's because you haven't done the skill work that you need to do to build a brand. It can be very confusing because when you're starting in a network marketing company, for example, they are giving you the scripts, they are telling you what to post, it, telling you what to do, they're training you to do a certain thing. Well, and I can tell because every single time I send out a message to talk to people and I ask them, hey, what is it that you do? I hear the same script. Why are you doing what you're doing? I hear the same script. Okay, guys, it's so transparent, and that is why you are afraid. You know that, your heart knows that, your brain knows that, you know that is not what you really want to say, right? But you're saying it A, because you maybe think that's what you need to do, or B, because you're afraid to tell people the real reason why you're doing what you're doing. Now, here's the thing, the thought that I'm going to offer to you, and you take it or leave it, right? Listen to this or don't. But I feel that whatever business you're in, if you are transparent, if you are authentic, if you are aligned with what you want to do and who you are as a person, you sleep better at night. You sleep better at night, you have less anxiousness, you are just more productive in the things that you're doing, right? And it's just also just a more honest way of doing business. So I think when you are honest about who you are and what you're working on, people can see that and people can feel that from you if you're honest. And if you're not honest, they also can feel that and they can also see that and they may not relate to you as much. Okay? And so here's the thing. If you just copy and post from your upline and they are doing this and you are trying to post this and then you have this yucky feeling inside of you where you're like, oh, I don't really want to post this because God knows what people are going to think about me. You're right. Stop doing that. Instead, build a brand. Okay? What does it mean to build a brand? Building a brand means finding out who you are as a person, finding out what you stand for, finding out what you're passionate about, finding out what you love to see happening in the world. What is wrong with that, right? I mean, regardless if you're building a business or not, every one of us should do that work regardless of posting it on social media. Every one of us needs to do that work to become, that's basically becoming an adult. Okay, so here's what happens. You grow, you get raised by your parents and by your environment, school, college, whatever your background is, and then you kind of get into the job force and you start this job and you're getting paid, and out of a sudden you start realizing, like, I'm really not that happy. And then you kind of get stuck. You do one thing after another. You might get married and you have kids, and out of the sudden you have a midlife crisis because out of the sudden in your 40s you start recognizing, like, wait a minute, this is not what I wanted. And then you are like me, who turns 50 in tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And then you start realizing, like, dang, like, half my life is either over. I got to rephrase really quickly and say, you know what? My life is just starting because I've just recognized within my 40s, I have just learned who I am. But you know, it could have been different. It could have been much earlier. I could have learned so much earlier who I was. And I think I would have like maybe made a switch much earlier. Maybe I could have saved myself a couple of marriages, right? I could have saved myself a lot of heartache, a lot of mistakes that I've done in the past. See, if I would have done the work that I'm asking you to do today, regardless of if you're an online entrepreneur or not, find out who you are. What are you passionate about? What are your core values? What do you stand for? See, I stand for honesty. I like transparency. I like when people are telling me flat out so I can make a decision. I like to tell my prospects what I'm here to do, right? My intentions, because I don't want somebody to think that I'm manipulating my way backwards into their lives. That's not who I am. That's not what I like to do. Okay. I like to be honest and open, and I expect the same from my opponent, right? And my other person across from me. I expect the same. Because here's the thing. I also value open-mindedness. So that means I like to do what I want to do, right? I'm obviously a type A personality. I like to do what I want to do, but I also let you do what you want to do. So the more I can tell you about me, the more I can be open and honest with you, the more you get to decide, do you like me or do you not like me? Do you like how I talk and what my convictions are, or do you not like what my convictions are, right? And so you get to make that decision before we even get into a relationship. So it's really important. And when I say relationship, I'm not talking about a marriage or I'm talking about a friendship. I'm talking even about customer to leader, right? Or leader to teammate. Like whatever you are in, see, if you recruit anyone, you want them to like you. You want them to click with your style. You want them to click with your vibe. Call it whatever you want, style, vibe, depending on what age you are. That is what it is. The more you can show yourself authentically, meaning who you are as a person, the more you are actually allowing others to either say yes to you or say no to you. The reason why you're not doing that is because one way, you don't know about yourself. You don't know who you are. You are just blindly following a script that is inside your paradigm, meaning your inside belief system that is subconscious. Okay? If you're following that script that has been established through your upbringing, through your parents, through your schooling, through your environment, whatever those belief systems are that you grew up with, if you just blindly follow that, that's the footsteps you're going into. Okay? If you never check that for yourself to see if you are actually meant for that or not, you might wake up one day saying, wait a minute, that's not me, right? Or you wasted a lot of time. Or you just die with regrets and say, I really wanted to always travel, but I just never did it. I just never did it because nobody in my family did it. I happen to be the one that says, you know what, I'm tired of all this pain. I just need to figure out who am I even, right? That's a different story. So you have different starting points to get to where you need to go. But bottom line is you need to become you. You need to become unique yourself, you. And when you own that, see, I know why you're not posting. You don't want to be judged and you don't want to be rejected. Okay. But if you own it and you have somewhat of an open mind that you you stand in for what it is that makes you, but you allow others to have their opinions, see, then rejection doesn't sting as bad anymore because they get to decide if they want you or not. They get to decide if they like your product or not. They get to decide if they like your coaching or not. But see, if you make it about you, it's my insufficiency or myself, in my doubt, myself, my. If you make it about you, then of course you're going to be careful about what the others are going to say about you. So what I suggest you do, build your brand, build who you are. What is your core values? What do you like to do? What is your best attributes? What is your shortcomings? Figure out what you're really good at and figure out what you're really bad at. And what do you love to do? Where you want to go with your life? Like, don't dwell in the past, but learn from the past. Figure out what your present is like, and then figure out what you want your future to be like. It gives you tons of stuff to post about. And the purpose when you post on social media is not just um, to attract people to your product so that they can buy it. No, the purpose of social media is for people to basically coming into your store, walking around a little bit, taking a look. Do I like it? Do I not like it? What does she have to sell? Yeah, I kind of, when I say what I have to sell not just my mentorship, which by the way, go get into that mentorship. I swear it's the best thing you're going to do for yourself. However, that's not the only thing I have to sell. I also have to sell me as a friend, as a person, as an accountability partner. I show what I'm doing and who I am and what I like. Like everybody that knows me knows that I love camping. I can't wait. I am like itching already for the weather to get better and me getting back into a camper and on the road, right? It's like, it's just something that I love to do. I love hearing that fire. I was actually thinking tomorrow is supposed to be warm and my birthday. I'm like, oh, how can I make a fire again? Like, those are things that I really love to do that fuel my cup. What is it that you like to do? See, when people know stuff about you, yes, it's a little scary. They could judge you, it's fine. But you know what? At the same time, they can also connect with you. And isn't that what you want? So if you have insecurities about who you are, maybe that you don't know, or you don't think that it's good, or like some kind of thoughts that are preventing you from being who you are, heal that. Heal that. Figure out your mindset obstacles. Talk with me, ideally, in the Freedom Mentorship about what is going on, why you are hanging, where you're stuck, all that kind of stuff. Let's figure out where the root cause is from all of it. And then we're going to go out and then we're going to go and build, right? Once you have your storefront, that's when you can then build the systems on how to recruit, the systems on how to keep customers, the systems on how to make things happen for your future. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you today. So the real reason why you don't post on social media and it's hurting you more than you know is actually that not only are you losing out on sales and connections and opportunities, but you're losing, really, really, really losing out on your life. Okay, on your quality of life. Because once you do that work, you find the thing that you're burning for, you find the thing that you're passionate about. What's going to happen is not only will you be more successful with your business, but your day-to-day will be much more pleasant because you like what you're doing. You like what you're building. You like what you're looking at all day long versus you don't like what you're looking at. And you don't have to have the pressure of pretending because you are you, however you are, right? Whether or not you're talking to somebody online or you're on a live video or you're talking to somebody in person, you are you. So you don't have to play weird with these different personas on filters, so to speak, right? You don't have to do any of that because you are you. It relieves so much pressure. I promise you. And then in the end of your life, you can look back and say, you know what? I did all the things that I wanted to do. And good job. Atta girl, right? That's what I wanted to leave you with. So don't let your non-posting go unnoticed by yourself. Figure it out, okay? Heal, connect, and then take the steps and level up. If you need help, get into the Freedom Mentorship. I promise you, it's the best thing that you're going to do. I'm not going to keep that price at $27 forever because their value inside of there, check out my website and see the testimonials. The value in there is so much bigger than what I give you already with my free content, okay? The accountability, the support, the ability to ask me questions, work on your stuff. This is life coaching and business coaching and therapy on steroids. Don't miss it.